book friends! Today I'm doing the BookTube Newbie Tag because I'm new here and I'm excited to be here. So if you want to see why I want to be here, if you want to learn a little bit more about me and my reading journey and what I plan to do with this channel, just keep watching. So the first question is, why did I start this channel? I started this channel because I like reading books. And I love talking about books, but I don't have anybody to talk to books about. So I thought maybe I can make some friends on YouTube and we can all talk about books. I also just wanted to somewhat document my reading journey because I have read a lot of books in my life and I don't remember a lot of them because I never wrote anything about them, never noted them down really anywhere. So I just thought it would be cool to be able to look back at all of the things I've read and things I've liked, didn't like. And yeah, I just think it'll be a cool reading diary of sorts. Number 2 is, what are some fun or unique things you can bring to YouTube? I'm not sure how unique I am. I live on an island, if that means anything. Probably the most interesting thing about me is that I love reading and I love books, but I don't have any physical book collection. More on that later. When I was a kid, my mom always encouraged me to read, and I did enjoy reading as a kid. But I did have some really terrible teachers who somehow made reading so unfun by having us have like a signed reading log that we had to read 20 minutes every day and get our moms to sign it. And it just really sucked the fun out of reading. But then when I got to high school, Harry Potter was in full swing, Twilight had come out, and I started reading again. Until Breaking Dawn came out, and I read Breaking Dawn, and that was just the worst thing. Breaking Dawn really turned me off of reading. So then I went to college and I studied English, and I read a lot of different things. American literature, British literature, contemporary novels, David Sedaris. But after college, I was really burnt out of reading, which sounds terrible to say, but it's the truth. So after college, I read very minimally, like 3 to 4 books a year for several years. Pretty much every year, actually, until this year, where I really just decided I wanted to be a reader again, and that's what I did. So what is fun about all of this? I think I really just want to showcase the fact that reading is a journey. It's not a destination. And you don't have to be a perfect reader who picked up their first book at 3 years old and read 100 books every year since then to call yourself a reader. Like, my reading journey has had ups and downs, and right now I'm just super excited about it. So this is another chapter in my journey and I'm excited to share it. Number 3 is, what are you most excited about this new channel? For me, it's just to share my love of books with people. I don't have very many real life friends, and definitely no real life friends who are into books. So yeah, I just think it'll be great to meet new people and talk about books. Why do you love reading? For me, I really love the interpretive aspect of reading. I feel like I've never been much of a movie or TV watcher, and I think it's just because with movies or TV, everything is really in your face. It's just blatantly out there for you, and you get from it what the filmmakers want you to get from it. But with the book, it's really up to interpretation, and you can get from it a multitude of different things depending on what kind of mood you're in or what you're looking for, and you can kind of mold your experience reading a book to what you need at the time, and I just really enjoy that. I think it's a lot more meaningful that way, and personally I just find it more entertaining and more fulfilling. What book or series got you into reading? So the first thing I remember reading, I think, was a book called Island Stallion in 2nd grade. I'm not sure why I remember this book. It wasn't really a standout book. I think it was part of the Black Stallion series, but it's just the first chapter book that I really remember reading. Besides that, I know in elementary school I really enjoyed reading the Sabrina the Teenage Witch series. They're really short and easy to read, and they felt manageable for me at the time in like 3rd grade, and so those really solidified, I think, my enjoyment of reading. Harry Potter, of course, got introduced to that in like 1st grade, very young, and the series continued all the way through high school. I think the last book was released in like 2007, and I was in high school, and waiting for the next book pretty much was my childhood. When I got older and I started reading again after college, a lot of the books that I read were memoirs. One of the first ones I think was What Happened by Hillary Clinton, and then later on it was Becoming by Michelle Obama. Reading stories from women, influential women, really just, it was inspiring to me, and it felt like I was listening to and participating in a really important conversation. And for me at the time, it felt like it was more meaningful than reading fiction. I guess I was just in a different headspace back then. I still do enjoy reading memoirs from time to time. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? Number one is, how do you read so many books? So I see people stack books in their what I read this month, and it's like huge. Like, how do you read that many books? Like, do you skim? Do you speed read? Tell me your secrets. Also, I'd like to know, like, what percentage of books do people DNF? For me, I feel pretty bad when I have to DNF a book, and I will pretty much go out of my way to not DNF them. So I wonder, like, what percentage of books do you DNF? And also, just what is your favorite type of video to film? Is it the vlogs? Is it the sit-down videos? So I'm still trying to figure out what types of videos I'm really gonna fill this channel with. So if anybody has any advice on just what I should film, any help is greatly appreciated. What challenges do you think starting a BookTube channel will be the hardest to overcome? For me, I've always just been very self-critical about pretty much everything. Like, I think I've wanted to start a YouTube channel for a long time, but I've just been critical of how I look, how I talk, and worrying that I don't have anything intelligent to say, anything really interesting to contribute. And it's hard to just say get over it, but that's pretty much what I did. One day recently, I was just like, I'm just gonna get over it. Nobody really cares how I look or how I talk, and whatever I have to contribute is valid and it's good enough. And I hope that I can grow and improve, but for now, my new motto has just been, a good plan today is better than a perfect plan tomorrow. So I feel like I've been in the planning stages for years, and so I really just thought it was the time to get started. And the hardest thing to overcome has just been the insecurity. And I'm still insecure. I am nervous sitting here talking. I'm working on it, and I hope it gets better. Yeah, I am working on it. When did you start reading? I think, like I said, my mom always encouraged me to read when I was a kid, so I've always been a reader somewhat. It's ebbed and flowed throughout the years of how much I was reading or what I was reading, but I really have been reading since I was very young. I'm also just really rebellious. I don't like to read what people tell me to read, so whenever I encountered a reading requirement, that always put me off of reading. Like, when I was in elementary school, we had those signed reading logs, and those made me not want to read. And then when I got to college, of course, I was told all of the things I needed to read, and I didn't want to read any of that, and that also made me not want to read. But now I'm out of school, and I can do whatever I want and read whatever I want, and now it is fun again. Because nobody is telling me what I need to read. I can just read for my own pure enjoyment. And that, I think, is the true spirit of reading. Unless you're really in academia. That doesn't seem like fun. I mean, I guess I was sort of there, and I'm glad I'm out of it now. Where do you read? In bed, on the couch, on the floor, on the balcony, on the porch, sitting in a lawn chair, pretty much everywhere. I'm also a Kindle reader on my phone, not on an actual Kindle. So my phone goes everywhere with me, and so when I'm waiting somewhere, I'm constantly reading books. What kind of books do you like to read? I am pretty genre agnostic. I am open to pretty much anything. There's maybe a list of specific things that I really don't like, and so I will ignore those. But for everything else, I am open to trying all sorts of different genres. For fiction, I really do enjoy the contemporary romances. They're fun and they're easy to read. I like fantasy because sometimes I just want to get out of this world, and the fantasy books, especially, I mean, the well-written ones, really just take you on a ride and an adventure, and it just really helps you kind of disassociate with some of the things that are happening in this world. I also still read a good amount of nonfiction. Like I said, memoirs are my favorite, but I also do read some like special interest books about specific events that I find interesting. and I really enjoy personal essays. Earlier this year, I read My Body by Emily Ratajkowski, and there was another one. Well, This Is Exhausting by Sophia Benoit. I thought those were great. They were really interesting. They're from a feminist perspective, and I just really enjoy reading the voices of women. Also, I gotta say, I love a good YA and middle grade. Sometimes I just love the nostalgia of the YAs and middle grades. Just take me back to those younger years when things were simpler. The world was simpler, my life was simpler, my relationships were simpler. Everything was just so incredible, and I didn't even appreciate it back then. And so I just love to go back to that time. It's relaxing compared to what's going on in the world today. What does your book collection look like? So this is going to be a shocker for a book reader, book lover like me, but I have no physical book collection. I mean, it's for a lot of reasons. Number one, just being, I've moved around a lot, and lugging around a physical book collection would be cumbersome. Also, I live near the ocean, and the ocean air just disintegrates everything I own. So I think if I had a physical book collection, it probably wouldn't last very long. Also, I just really love ebooks. I love the portability, and it's just more cost effective to buy them. I've gotten used to reading on my phone. Maybe one of these days I'll get an actual Kindle. It might be better for my eyeballs. I do enjoy reading physical books, and I get them from my local library. All of the books that you'll see in the background of my videos, those are all borrowed from the library. And I love it because I always get to switch out my background books, and it's just super fun. I go shopping in the library and get whatever I want, and if I don't like it or want to DNF it, my only obligation is to return it. So that is it for my BookTube Newbie Tag. If you have any suggestions on what I should film or what I should do, how I can be more interesting, improve my videos, please leave them in the comments below. I could use all the tips I can get. Overall, I'm just very excited. So I hope you keep watching, and if you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!